I'm lost, I'm broken. My husband 35M cheated on me 35F. I have no idea what to do. Backstory: my husband 35 male and I 35F have been married for 7 years, together for a little more than 8. We lived in Austin, Texas, where I'm from, and living there was just getting too expensive. We talked about other places and I brought up his hometown of Cleveland, Ohio. He was hesitant at first because, well, it's Cleveland, Ohio, his words. But he hadn't seen his family in a long time and had lost some dear ones over the years. He and I finally made the decision to move to his hometown. Biggest mistake of my life. Sorry for the really long post, I'm not sure if it makes sense but I can hardly keep my thoughts straight. Saturday night, May 20th, 11:16 p.m. Bill time stamp Applebee's, got home 2:05 a.m. Went alone. Went with coworkers, went with one worker. An old lady. All the lies I heard. He was actually supposed to be at work till 7 a.m. Memorial Day weekend. Well, he cheated. It wasn't an old lady, it was an ex. He apparently wants her and he doesn't want to lose her a second time. I'm so disappointed, so angry, so hurt. Sometimes I just can't. He's a totally different person to me now. I used to think of him as someone who would never hurt me, ever. And now I just can't stop picturing him kissing her, holding her, fondling her. Wanting to be with her, wanting to have sex with her. It's just too much. He lied to my fucking face Saturday night. This asshole gave that bitch the heads up about me finding out about them and they planned a fucking fake goodbye that just reeked of bullshit. I bet they had a good laugh that night after I fell asleep. I just fucking knew it was bullshit. It completely cancelled out everything that happened in the night to early morning hours of Sunday. He opened up to me, he cried. Blah blah blah. As was I thought about it all when I read that these fuckers didn't give a shit about anyone else's feelings but their own. And when I confronted him about it he was just flabbergasted. He slightly denied it and kept denying until I muttered the word, chaos. He had the actual fucking gall to be angry with me that I found out it was all bullshit that I went through his stuff. Please, what I found was way fucking worse than me going through your stuff. I did apologize for invading his privacy and eventually he said that he understood why. Am I just hearing more lies? I don't fucking know what's the truth anymore. Is everything that comes out of his mouth a lie? I cannot tell what is lie and what is truth. It's driving me crazy. I met his family at a big picnic and it took all my fucking strength not to break down. I almost did a couple times. It was so strange, everyone happy to see him and thinking how great he was. Not knowing the horrible amount of pain I was in. Not knowing what their precious jab had done to his wife. I wanted to fucking scream. Now he's okay with cutting her out of his life, Monday, but on Saturday evening he lied to my fucking face. He pretended to cut her out and those two fucking bastards were just gonna keep talking, fucking flirting and God knows what else. I want to believe him, I really do. I just don't know if I can. He's already lied to me so many times, I just don't know if I buy that now he no longer cares about her. He keeps saying, fuck her, don't think about her. And gets so emotional when telling me. He almost wants to cry when he tells me to forget her. Reminds me of the tears when he ended their friendship, perverted texting, meeting. Reminds me of the tears from last Sunday when I was grilling him about who he was there with at Applebee's and he just made me feel like a fucking idiot when I found out the actual truth. Those tears to me signify that he is lying to me. He was all those other time with his damn fucking tears. Part of me feels that as soon as I fall asleep that's he's gonna be texting her. As soon as I'm gone for work tomorrow, Tuesday, he's gonna text her. They're just gonna be laughing at me that he was able to sucker me into more of his lies. They're gonna be talking about how much they want each other, how they're gonna have to be more careful and how they love how each other feels. I just can't with this. It breaks my heart so fucking much I can't even deal with the pain, I don't know how. I can't eat, can't sleep. I have to plaster happiness on my face because seeing him all torn up makes me feel bad. Like bitch fucking please, I shouldn't feel bad for anything. I may have gone through his stuff but only because I knew something was off. And sure enough I found what I didn't want to find. I was really hoping I was wrong, that I was being unreasonable or crazy, like he said I was last Sunday when I grilled him about Applebee's. At this point I've said I'm gonna trust him, even though my dumbass really shouldn't. Like please, he's already burned that fucking bridge more than once. I'm either really fucking stupid or just very naive to believe him after everything's that happened. I still don't know, I'm still not 100%, I'm maybe like at a 40% and that's being generous. I'm so fucking torn and it's driving me crazy trying to decide what to do. I don't know if I can just trust him and never bring it up again. I just know it's gonna eat me alive, the uncertainty. I wish this never happened. I wish we never fucking moved up here. I never thought he'd hurt me like this. I just want to scream so fucking loud that my damn ears pop. We hadn't even been here in Cleveland for a month. I just don't know what to do. This has never happened to me before. I'm just so entirely heartbroken, and yet for some reason I still want him. Why? Edit. I'm 7 weeks pregnant and the other girl is married with kids of her own. I have high blood pressure. My last pregnancy was pretty bad. I expressed some fears when I found out about the pregnancy because of the HBP, and my husband suggested I get an abortion, for my health. That he and our kids would rather have me alive than die with a rough pregnancy. Now I can't help but think he said it because of her. Get documentation of the adultery and explore your divorce lawyer options in both Texas and Ohio. The relocation complicates things. In some cases I've heard of relocating entitles the spouse to special damages. Moving back to a hometown, things like this happen linking up with an ex. Just be cool, explore your relocation options, get a lawyer and get a written confession by messenger or texts about the adultery. Pretty sure she's the reason he wanted to move there in the first place. I'm so sorry. I wish I had advice for you. If you have your own family, move back with them. Cheaters are the absolute worst. I'm so sorry for what you are going through. It is a process. At times you'll want things to work. You will believe him, you will pretend it's all okay. But eventually you will get sick of all the lies and betrayal and won't tolerate it anymore. Do you have a close friend or family member that you can reach out to? It's difficult to go through this alone, especially in a strange place. Please leave. Please. Take whatever you can't replace and go. You're wasting your life. He doesn't deserve you. Check Ops comment history. She's commenting on other dudes' pics how she wants to ride them. After thinking my 36 female boyfriend, 38 male, has been treating me poorly. I'm starting to think it's me. Hello. This is a throw RA account because he does look through my phone. I feel like my boyfriend has been mistreating me. But recently I'm starting to wonder if it's just me that can't accept my own ways. I can be emotional, I get attitudes, and I can be stubborn. 2 weeks ago, I took a couple days off work to grieve the loss of a best friend who committed suicide. I stood home, slept, got a massage, and did nothing else. My boyfriend was upset with me, but didn't mention it until last week. I work from home on Mondays and Tuesdays. I'm in finance, so the end of the month is insanely busy for me. I know he has long days too at work. He got home and was upset with me over something but didn't want to say what it was. I asked him multiple times. He was just treating me cold and distant and even slept in the living room. The next day he ended up confessing that he was mad I had the time to do my makeup but not have food ready for him and his teenage son. This turned into a huge argument. He was yelling and cussing at me, so eventually I blew up and did the same. He was punching the air towards me. I told him to leave because I was afraid he'd hit me. He responded, "If that's how you felt, maybe you should act right." I was not innocent after this. I yelled back. End of the day, the blame fell on me for this one. A couple days ago, we went to the gym together. I got ready, did a little hair and makeup because I like to feel confident. Nothing extreme. Just a little mascara and eyeliner. I had an obligation that evening, so I only had a half hour to work out. I suggested we took separate cars so that he didn't feel like he had to leave earlier than me and we would meet at our house in like an hour. His mood changed. He didn't say anything. Then 30 minutes later I got a text from him saying something along the lines of, "I thought it was weird you grabbed your phone off the table and made sure you were extra ready and suggested we take separate cars." I apologized and explained my reasoning to him. When I got home, he was upset. I asked him if he was okay and he expressed how insecure I made him feel. I tried to reassure him but his mood didn't change. We went to Walmart together and I had a sudden burst of energy. I have ADHD. I was feeling goofy, hyper and in a good mood. I was trying to sing and be silly and make him laugh. It was obvious it bothered him. He said, "Are you planning on taking your Adderall?" and acted bothered by me the whole time. I asked him what was wrong twice but he denied anything was wrong. I told him he made me feel like I was bothering him because I know when he's upset. Trust me, I wasn't imagining it. He was still upset from earlier. He blew up on me for having a terrible mood swing. Today, we were driving back from spending the night on a camping trip with his parents. I noticed he wasn't stopping at our house but driving to his parents', so I asked him, "We aren't going home first?" He raised his voice, "No, remember I'm the only one who helps my parents." I said, "Okay, I thought we would just stop at home first to empty the truck, my dog was home, and I felt dirty. I never said I didn't want to go to his parents, just wanted to stop at home." He lost it. Started yelling at me. Asked me why I can't just follow him like his cousin's wife follows her husband. Told me my attitude is a huge problem and he can't stand me. Slammed on his brakes all stupid on the highway. I told him he snapped on my for no reason and he screamed, "Can't you ever be quiet?" I told him I have been. He kept asking why I didn't talk to him on the camping trip and I told him it's because he's always mad at me. I don't know why he hates me so much, but I'm starting to feel like I'm just a miserable person to be around. What I'm looking for on this post is some honest opinions. I would like to know if there is any way I could have handled these situations differently and been better on my side. I feel so lost and I'm blaming myself. I already knew which way this was gonna go when you said he goes through your phone. This is abuse. He's literally blaming you for his violent outbursts because you don't act right? No. For your own safety, leave. This time he punched the air, next time it could be you. That's how abusers escalate things. They push things a little further each time until they're punching you in the stomach or smashing your head into a wall. You should never have to be afraid of your partner. Your boyfriend is abusive and the only one having terrible mood swings is him. Don't let him gaslight you. I cannot fathom why any human being tolerates someone treating them this way. Walk into the bathroom, stand in front of the mirror and look at yourself. If a friend was telling you this story, what would you tell her? I know change can be scary, but it can be incredibly liberating. Pack a bag and get the hell out of there, today. After reading the second paragraph, my first thought was, this man is abusive and is gaslighting you into thinking it's your fault, get out, ASAP. It's not you. He wants a meek slave, not a girlfriend. Run. My 27F boyfriend, 29M, slept through our plans again and I am fuming. I'm so sick and tired of my boyfriend doing this. We are currently long distance and he frequently comes back home to visit for a couple of days at a time to visit me and his family. He already has a very bad habit of showing up late all the time. Back when we first met, and when I had no boundaries, he showed up an hour late to our first date. I have no idea why I waited for him, but I did. This itself was definitely a foreshadowing of what was to come during the relationship. I can count maybe 3-4 times in the year that we have been dating where he did show up on time. I think the longest I have waited for him was 1.5 hours, but most of the time, it'd be 20-30 minutes. The last time I saw him was about a month ago. We had made plans to get dinner around 7 p.m. I was going to meet him after work. I texted him at 6:30 p.m. letting him know that I'm off of work, no response. I called him shortly after while driving, he didn't answer. I texted him again around 6:55 letting him know I'm at the restaurant, no response. Called him again around 7:10 p.m., no answer. I was getting ready to head back home when he finally called me saying he fell asleep. I got so mad but he went and said, "I'm human, it happens." He profusely apologized when he came and I just let it go. Another time he came to visit, we had been consistently texting in the morning and then all of a sudden, he stops responding to me. We were supposed to meet up again that day after I got off from work. Afternoon rolls around and I still hadn't from him. I got worried and called him 3 times before he finally answered and said he fell asleep. We ended up meeting the next day because it was too late by the time he woke up. He came to visit again last night. He landed late so he said we will go out for lunch today. Well, I didn't hear from him all morning. I had a feeling he was sleeping because he just so happens to always fall asleep at the most convenient times. 2 p.m., still no contact from him when I finally called him at around 3:30 p.m. And what was he doing? Sleeping. And I know if I try to bring it up again, he's gonna guilt trip me by saying how tired he is. He always uses his work as an excuse. I will say that his work is pretty grueling and pretty physical, often working long hours as well. But damn, he shows absolutely so respect for me or my time. If he happened to fall asleep late, he could have texted me before going to sleep saying he likely won't be able to meet up for lunch. But he doesn't even do that. Leaving me wondering what the hell is going on. It's 4 p.m. now and he's still apparently sleeping. I know he's going to try to reschedule and apologize, but at this point, I don't even want to see him anymore. But I don't know what to tell him without him guilt-tripping me. I have actually been more outspoken about how his behavior has been bothering me and that I won't continue to tolerate it if it keeps happening. This is probably something I'm gonna break up with him over because he's never going to change. Update. For all of those asking if he has any medical conditions like sleep apnea or ADHD, I personally don't know, to be honest. Most of the time when he says he fell asleep on our plans is because he had trouble sleeping the night before, making him fall asleep during the day frequently. Could be lying, but I wouldn't know. But anyways, we talked. He couldn't care less. I let him know that he has absolutely no respect for me or my time and that I'm unwilling to tolerate this any longer. He told me I don't have to tolerate it and just broke up with him after that. This hurts for sure, but I know my future self will be grateful for this decision. Thank you everyone for the advice. Appreciate y'all. He doesn't respect you or your time. How hard is it for a 29-year-old to set an alarm or several so he wakes up on time to meet you? Why do I get the sneaking suspicion he's not actually sleeping? I used to be chronically late, ADHD, and have a sleep disorder, hypersomnia and insomnia, caused by major depressive episodes, but I've been aware of it for years and took steps so that it didn't affect my life in too negative of a way. The fact that he has not taken any kind of steps and has been like this for as long as you've known him, you should know he won't change. That's partly why I have that suspicion he's not sleeping. I don't want to jump to him cheating, but he doesn't respect you at all and you keep letting him get away with it. He doesn't care about you enough to be on time. Stand up for yourself. Tell him that if he's 2 minutes late, that you will not wait. Then don't wait. When he tried to guilt trip you, you just stand your ground and tell him that he has one more chance. You're right. He's been like this since you met him. He hasn't changed in the time you've known him. He's never going to change. You either make your peace with his disrespect or exit the relationship. Unpopular opinion, but if he keeps guilt-tripping into staying with him, then it's okay to break up over text. He doesn't respect your time, you don't have to show him the utmost respect. My 30 male, wife, 30 female, says I ruined the moment. This type of thing keeps happening. Hey folks. Coming here for a little advice, as I seem to be hitting a roadblock in my marriage. This kind of exchange has been happening more and more lately, and I'm just not sure why, really. We both feel distant. I feel like she doesn't love me anymore. But IDK. I'll let y'all be the judge. So my wife suggested we take some time for ourselves last night after dinner. Cool by me. I worked on music, she took a long bath. After her bath, it was pretty late. But I had just showered as well. She was laying in bed looking all lonely, and we always generally cuddle around bedtime. She asked me to come lay on her, naked, to which I happily obliged. Lots of pillow talk, petting and sensuality. She asked me to spank her. So now I'm turned on. We're both feeling good and acknowledge that we're feeling good. I ask her if she wants me to make her feel even better. She tells me she's really sore and wants a shoulder, back rub. I say okay, it's like 12:45 a.m. at this point, and give her a pro-level back rub. She really needed it. By then it was like 1:20 a.m. and I was far from turned on then, and I was a little fatigued, as the massage was at a tough angle for me and I put a lot of concentration into making it good for her. But we were cuddling all nice and happy, with me halfway propped up kind of over her. This is where things went south. She asked for my hand to hold the one that was supporting my body. I told her it was supporting my body and I would need to shift positions, and she started getting frustrated. I changed my position and gave her my hand, and she asked for my other hand as well. Okay, sure. Now we're basically in a variation of missionary, but I'm again physically uncomfortable. She then says I'm being dramatic, that she's telling me what she wants, and that I should be thankful. She says it's not uncommon for a woman to want to be pinned down by her husband, to which I affirmed, and have done many times. But told her I didn't realize we were jumping to that and that I needed to loosen up my body, stretch after giving her the massage. She said, frustratedly, that she didn't know what to tell me in that case, and that I should go stretch. I popped my back and loosened up my forearms real quick, and said with light sincere enthusiasm that I was ready now. But she said it was too late, and that I ruined the moment. How? I felt so used and defeated. Like because I wasn't the ultimate sex man taking all her instructions I somehow ruined it. But I really tried. Just to have us feel connected at the very least. Anyway, she got up and got ready for bed, and I was laying there feeling sad and disconnected from my own body at that point. When she came back we didn't talk much, and what we did say was strained and in conflict. We went to bed extremely awkwardly. I laid there in the dark in silence for an hour, trying not to move too much as she fell asleep, and trying to fall asleep myself. Eventually I got up and went to sleep in the other room. There are probably a lot of complex psychological factors at play here. But I'm trying not to get lost in those. Nonetheless, I do feel lost. This is a repeat pattern now. I do things I think will make her happy, I'm happy too. Then all of a sudden she's not, and we're at this place of hurt and disappointment and don't know what to do. Thoughts? Advice? Dude. She is begging for you to take control and not wait on her explicit permission. If I'm you and my wife asked me to spark her, the time for talking is over. It's time to get down, and I'm not talking about any back and shoulder rub. She's frustrated because you seem too wrapped up in your own head, nervous to assert your will and take control. People are making a ton of assumptions about what she really wanted and expected out of this interaction. But what you really need to do is ask her. If she can't have an honest and mature conversation about how she imagined that scenario playing out and what piqued her frustration, you might need couples counseling. Your marriage sounds very one-sided. Your wife also sounds like she enjoys playing mind games with you. Dude, when a wife asks for a massage right after asking to be spanked, she's not asking for a damn therapeutic massage. She wants a short sensuous massage. She was definitely trying to get you to be dominant and then you got up to stretch, which clearly ruined the moment. If you lack confidence sexually, you would be likely to do this in order to kind of stall or try and relieve the pressure of the moment. It seems you were being genuine and are confused, so I think you guys just need to talk it out and clarify both of your needs.